everyone, to Microsoft Dynamics Weekly. I'm your host, Noah Mosley, and a little bit different format today. Whereas I usually post these podcasts in the early Monday mornings, I'm rolling these out beforehand as we have a conference coming up next week in Chicago for Dynamics User Group. It's their big annual DynamicsCon conference, and the next several podcasts I'm releasing feature speakers from that conference. For this next discussion, I have David Laster with us. David is with GraVoc and a longtime contributor to the Dynamics community. Morning, David.
Good morning, Noah. Nice to chat with you today.
I know I've known you for years now, and we've met in person at several conferences. I have never been to a DynamicsCon conference. I've always been to the Summit conferences. And I saw you last, I think it was in San Antonio last October.
Sounds right. Yeah.
That seems like forever ago.
I was on my scooter. Remember that? I had my
Yeah,
broken
you
foot. I had
had.
my
Yeah, you
broken
had.
foot at the time, so I
Was it
drew a
a
lot of
broke foot?
unnecessary attention. I'm all good now. I can walk. I made it through ski season and back to the daily grind.
Well, awesome! Congratulations. Well, and that's really good because you're going to have a busy week up in Chicago. And do you live near Chicago? Where are you from?
I am just near Boston, Massachusetts, actually. I live west of Boston, but the company main offices are in Peabody, just north of Boston.
Okay, so you'll fly over to Chicago next week and make your rounds over there.
You bet.
And um, you have 4 sessions this week, 2 on Wednesday and then 2 on Thursday. So for this podcast here, we'll just look at your topics, your discussions, get your take on them, and who you're aiming for your audience and such. You want to start off with the Wednesday, so that's next week, the 14th of May, which is the first day of DynamicsCon, right? They do have something on Tuesday for partner marketing, I think, but then the actual sessions start on Wednesday, I believe.
You are correct. Yeah, and this is right after the big opening. This is like the first session after
Awesome.
that. So yeah, they always put me first right afterwards for some reason, but it's great to be able to run out
Well,
of that session and right into yours and kind of kick things off for everybody.
yep, they have you starting at 9:45 after that one for your first one, which is breaking into the benefits of telemetry for BC.
I
So
love
and you're
this
doing that
session.
one
I
by
love
yourself,
this.
right?
I am. I love this session. This session really came about for me, and it's evolved over the last couple of years. It's very popular, so I keep putting in, and it keeps getting selected, truthfully. But you'll notice that I have this theme across all 4 of my sessions is that I'm really trying to aim at helping folks move from GP to Business Central and understand what they're doing and do it well, right? And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that they lose when you go from an on-premise ERP like Great Plains to the cloud with Business Central SaaS is the ability to really like observe what's going on the server, the RAM, the SQL commands. Like you could do SQL traces, you could look at utilization of CPU. There's so many things you can do on a workstation. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're in the cloud, you don't have that capability. So how do we work around that, right? What do we do instead? And that's what this session
Yep.
is about, right? This breaking into the benefits of telemetry and what's really happening in the Business Central application is that it's emitting data. It's emitting things that are happening, events, right? Each event has a code. Each code has a meaning. And what this session does is it walks through 20 of the most useful Power BI dashboards that look at this data that's emitted from Business Central as people are opening pages or running reports. You get to see the most popular ones or the least popular ones or the ones that take the longest to run or the shortest to run. So you can start to see SQL errors and code errors, and it really is quite insightful.
Awesome. I see on here that it's targeted for the BC crowd, but GP as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is one of those tools that you get to put in your toolkit, when you're moving from GP to BC.
Yep.
But for anybody that's already on or is implementing now or planning to implement BC, this is neat right? This is a product that Microsoft has for us. It's a free product. We have to deploy the Power BI app and connect it and refresh it against your data. And then
Hmm.
once that is done, you're able then to kind of observe really in real time. We use it as a partner to look at a number of different environments for a variety of things, errors, changes,
Yep.
validation problems. So we're able to, even as a partner, use it across a wide range to detect things that we might not otherwise know are going on because we're not on the server.
Gotcha. And who's your target audience for this one?
I think everybody that has come in the past has gotten something out of it. Whether you're brand new or whether you're an expert, everybody has, to me, come up and said something, and it's really been kind of nice to hear. But it is full of information that anybody can learn from. Are you going to know how to do and understand telemetry afterwards? No. But what you will understand is that there's so much there. It's an important piece of your platform. So make sure it does, work its way into usage at the right time.
Hmm. And will it be like mostly IT people in the audience for you, or
It's
accountants?
system administrators for sure, but any developer because it helps look at any of the AL or the SQL code that's going on the server as it's being executed. So anybody in development that wants to optimize their product would have a vested interest in this, especially when they're developing against a sandbox. Right, you're emitting telemetry against a sandbox, reading it and using that to help optimize the performance of your product. So, but you can also use it as an end user. Okay, or
Gotcha.
you can find out what windows people are using, what time of day people are using the application, where people are logging in from. So it's really full of all kinds of information. So in about 45 to 50 minutes here, I go through 20 of my favorite ones that I think are the most useful, and pretty much any audience member can probably walk away with a good handful of knowledge nuggets from that.
And this could be like the typical presentation where you have, I mean, the room will be like the overhead projector. You'll be showing
Mhm.
your screen. You're going through the products, a few PowerPoint slides. Um,
Mhm.
uh, Obviously, a full room of people.
I hope so.
I haven't heard stats on how many people will be attending this year. Have you heard stats?
I know it's in the thousands. I mean,
Yeah.
this thing has grown so much over the years. I didn't go to the first one in California, but I've been to everyone since then, and a few hundred people to now a few thousand people. It's really been awesome to be a part of.
Yep. And then that same day, that same afternoon, you've got the next one at 2:15, and you're doing that one not by yourself. You've got a co-host with you.
I do. I was
Um,
honored to have the opportunity to partner up with Cecile. So I met Cecile in 2018. And
oh,
she impressed the heck out of me with a presentation that she did at GP User Group Summit. And I've just, been friendly with her for many, many years, and to have the opportunity. Actually, we're both MVPs now, so it's been an
nice.
incredible journey.
Congratulations.
Thank you to now be partnering with her and co-presenting. But we both have been on that journey to the cloud for her as an end user and for me as a partner, leading a team of implementation and development folks. So we are, really rooted in the GP side, as is our customer base. So we are, working on preparing those customers, those environments, to, figure out what their plan is going to be. And no two plans are alike, right? But
Yep.
there are definitely some key markers and some key elements of getting to a cloud ERP. I said a cloud, right? ERP. We
Hmm.
like to think it would be Business Central, but there are others, right? And we're not blind to the fact that there are other cloud-based ERP solutions. So we definitely mention that is a possibility and why.
And that session with her is going to be at 2:15 the afternoon on Wednesday. It's from ground to cloud, preparing Dynamics GP to a cloud-based ERP.
Hmm. Yeah, we got a lot of good back and forth prepared for this one. We've been working for the past 45 or so days, getting ready, kind of putting our real life, experiences down here that are going to be topics of conversation to help with the learning curve, right? Shorten the learning curve of anybody that's on the journey or about to begin the journey to cloud with their ERP.
Yep. And cloud-based ERP, you're focusing on BC, correct, for your practice?
We do
Or
all of the Dynamics lineup, even Solomon. Yes, we have still a whole bunch of Solomon folks, but we're working on migrating them too. But yes, we do F&O, AX, Nav, BC, on-prem as well as cloud, GP, Solomon. We've done others in the past, but we pretty much stick to the Dynamics lineup. The platform is just phenomenal. So it really
Yep.
is a language that our entire software solutions team speaks fluently.
Good. Awesome. And I have not met Cecile, so I have to get to know her this next week, or maybe before. So,
Sounds good.
all right, and then so that covers your Wednesday. You got those two sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. You'll have a busy day there.
Mhm.
Then on Thursday, you have two more sessions, a morning and an afternoon session as well. These are not repeats. These are different topics for you, right?
Yeah.
And then so that on that Thursday, 8:30 in the morning, modernizing the Dynamics experience, the ultimate GP to BC comparison to fast track your team.
Sounds ominous, doesn't it? It's hard to live up to the title of this presentation, Noah. This is actually, I don't know, I want to call it a brainchild, but it's something that I have a website, thedynamicsmindset.com, and I blog and talk about and compare GP to BC in very kind of granular, practical, and visual ways. And um, I've collected those, and I wanted to do a presentation on some of that stuff, but also some other stuff that I haven't blogged about yet. And it's lessons learned, and numbers are always fun. People do 45 tips and 45 minutes and things like that. But I think this type of session is something that I wanted to put a lot of energy into that covered a wide swath. In fact, I've got 20 topics that I will be talking about. I did this presentation at Directions, and I was very grateful to see got great response from people. Despite we had some AV problems at the beginning with the video not working right for it
Uh-huh.
ate up about 10 minutes or so. But I co-presented this with John Kirsch at that time. But we put together 20 topics, everything from sysadmin to user licenses to reports and forms to installations to security to troubleshooting. There's a wide range of things that you need to start wrapping your head around when you're going to make the transition. Whether you're a functional, a developer, an end user, a partner, a business, manager, an analyst, it doesn't matter. The game
Mhm.
changes. And that's what this session, I think, really talks about. Using 20 topics as our guide to show what it's really kind of mentioned briefly what it's like on the GP side, because the assumption is that most people know in the room. I know what the GP side looks like for reports and forms. What does it look like in BC? Well, let me show you. And here's the differences. And okay, so you get to quickly see it because not everybody has logged into BC yet, right? So they haven't been trained. So
Yep.
for those that are interested, the goal here is to kind of whet your appetite, show you that they've got it taken care of. When you move the GP to VC, you've got all these comparisons that they didn't leave you in a lurch. They didn't leave stuff behind, but it's different. And the goal
Yep.
here is to help explain the differences, partly in a visual format.
Awesome. And that one you're doing by yourself there, no co-host for that one.
Not this time. No, maybe again in the future. I'm hoping to keep this around because there's going to be a lot of people that I hope that this session and the content can help over the years.
And when you did it, you've only done this session once before. That was done directions back in Vegas, right?
That's correct. Yeah, in Las Vegas, and what was it,
Okay.
April, early April. Yep.
Yeah, so not long ago at all. Um, so good to hear it's a familiar and popular topic for you. Glad they voted for it.
Hmm.
And then you have several sessions, people with you in the afternoon session that Thursday, starting at 1:15 p.m. How to prepare for your Dynamics GP migration. A big topic everybody's looking at and has been for a few years now, but becoming more and more imperative. So you're got this listed for beginners here for the GP market, and you've got three other people with you.
This
Um,
is actually Rod O'Connor. It's really his session. It's his panel, and
okay.
myself and Casey and the Honorable Sean Dorward are also going to be part of this panel. We met a couple times now to talk about how the session's going to go. It's going to be interesting. We each have very different perspectives, and we also align on certain areas. So of how to prepare for a GP migration. So definitely a lot of good conversation. We want the crowd, we want the participants to also be involved in this one.
Hmm.
This isn't just a show and tell or a demo. You know, this is an engaging event. This session here at 1:15 on Thursday.
Okay. I do have a session scheduled with Sean later today, so I'll ask him about his take on it. Rod and Casey, I haven't talked to them yet, but I'll see if I can get them lined up over the next couple of days as well for a discussion here.
Yeah, if you can, Rod, especially because he works with E1 Solutions, and a lot of our GP folks are using the E1 solutions, specifically Smart Connect and PopDoc and whatever, Smart List Builder, tools that we have in GP. Well, E1 has similar things for GP as well. But it's also the big question a lot of people ask, what do I do with my data, my historical data, right? And they have a really neat method, approach, toolkit to help customers that need to preserve a lot of that access to that data. And Casey's perspective is interesting as well because when we differ, because I think she's really mastered the actual migration button process to Business Central, where I tend to, and I think Sean also more likes to think about, re-implementing instead because you're starting from scratch. So we had a lot of neat conversations and perspectives that I think we'll all get through in that session.
Great, awesome. So 4 sessions lined up for you. That's two on the Wednesday, the 14th, and then two more on Thursday, the 15th. Nothing on Friday, right? Friday's just a free day for you.
Currently, yeah, it is technically free. I've got a couple of sessions that I'm interested in going to. There's an Ask the MVPs, I think at 9 o'clock on Friday morning. That should be interesting to go to, so I might pop in there.
And you're not on that list on the stage?
Not yet. We'll see what happens. I just got an MVP about a little over 2 months ago, so you know how long it
Okay,
takes to plan these sessions, but I think it'd be fun. You know what? They have a lot of knowledge, and I've learned a lot, and that's ultimately, what I continue to do is to also continue to learn from the MVPs because their experience is just second to none, and their wisdom is worth taking home.
awesome. So I have not downloaded the app for the conference yet. Have you looked at that yet?
I
I mean, I
I did.
okay,
Yeah, it's called Hova. And WHOVA, I believe, is the name of the app. And
okay,
once you, I believe your email, I think, is the login. I can't remember exactly, but once you get into Hooba, it's pretty neat because you can see all the sessions. You can tag the ones that you're looking to go to. There's a community out there of people looking to meet up to have coffee and talk about manufacturing and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty neat application or to download on your phone so that you have it nearby. You can also then go just right to your schedule, and then when you wake up, you just go. You go there
yep,
and there and there and there, and not have to worry about where to go. So definitely get the app in advance. Pick your sessions. Pick at least 2 sessions, a primary and maybe a backup for the same time slot just in case. But yeah, go ahead and get that Hoover app. Look for the DynamicsCon 2025 event, and it'll find it and pull it right in.
awesome, good deal. And we'll put your sessions in our comment section. If there's links to that app, I'll include that as well.
Mhm.
Do they have on the app or on the website here anywhere for any slides you're sharing with everybody?
They are not that we have them all uploaded to essentially the session platform. I don't know if they're going to make them truly available through click-through download in the future, but they're working on that possibility. Regardless, all the speakers
Mm-hmm.
are more than happy to share slides at the end. A lot of us will have like a QR code or something in our slide deck, or business
Yep.
cards, or just tell you to link in with us. But you can absolutely, go right to the speaker. The speaker usually has a way for you to quickly download any slide decks that you're interested in getting.
Gotcha. And if anybody in the audience is interested in contacting presenters before or after the sessions, on the website at least, I can see that they've got all the LinkedIn contact information for the presenters.
Hmm.
They don't have email addresses on here; they just have the LinkedIn connections. So that's big for um, connecting the audience with the presenters here. And is that your preferred method for them? How the audience should contact you?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah. Mentioned
Okay.
DynamicsCon 2025, and I'm more than happy to, link in with you and start a conversation and see if there's anything that we can do to help you on your journey.
Okay. Good deal. So, David, 4 sessions there. Any of those four that you want us to talk back? Any topics that you should want to throw in before we wrap up today's recording?
This is a fantastic conference. There's the expo hall as well. I always take enough time, plenty of time, and seemingly never enough time, walking through the expo hall and looking at the products and the solutions and digging a little bit deeper with the people that spent their time and money to come to help make sure that this event is a success. I'm always finding
Yep.
nuggets of information and building relationships with people that help solve problems for my customers and for my team. So that's another part of this event that we wouldn't want to have people just kind of walk around. It is integral to the event, is having access to the marketplace, if you will, that occurs in the expo hall. So that'd be my other thing is it's not just all about education. There's plenty of networking, but also there's also this the solution world available. So do make sure you allow time and meet people. Take the swag home with you so that they don't have to ship it back in a box, and get to know what some of these solutions have to offer. You never know.
Yep. And do you and GraVoc have a booth in the expo hall this year?
We do not. We have we can call it more or less a vertical in the staffing and recruiting world. We have a strong integration to GP and Business Central with a product called Bullhorn, which is widely used across staffing firms. So that's really our niche. We do more booth type sponsoring at staffing events, but we have a very large and strong Dynamics team and all the products. So we do get engaged. We do send multiple people, and we do try to sponsor events like this when we can. Being a small 31-year-old family-run company, we're not big corporate warbucks, but we do want to be involved. We do want to promote, the content, the education, the networking that's going on at these. And we've got a few people, like I said, that are at pretty much each event to just be there.
Gotcha. So we have one session we're doing next week. So Derek is flying in for that one actually for financial reporting. So definitely look for him while you're out there.
Oh, I'd love
Um,
to.
yep, and I think he's doing his on Wednesday afternoon. I'll have a session with him sometime today or tomorrow as well. So David, thank you for joining me today. I'm hoping that everybody has gotten some great information from you here about your 4 sessions coming up for DynamicsCon next week. A lot of great information you're sharing. And as always, I mean, it's great to have you in the Dynamics community sharing your knowledge with everybody else about what you're working with and how you can help the community.
Well, no, thanks a lot. I really appreciate those kind words, and it's a fun thing to be a part of. Bottom line for me.
Yep. Have a safe flight, and everybody look for David in Chicago. That wraps up this podcast for Dynamics Weekly. I'm glad you could join me. As always, send me your comments. Good and bad comments are welcomed, but constructive comments are preferred. Likes, shares, and reposts are appreciated. Subscribes are awesome as well. You can subscribe to Dynamics Weekly, the newsletter on LinkedIn, and you can subscribe to the podcast directly on YouTube. Thank you, and have a great week in Chicago at DynamicsCon.